Myself, I went to Alfred University for my BFA, where I majored in art and design, minored in art education, concentrated in photography. And then I also studied abroad in Scotland, and then continued and got my master's at Maryland Institute College of Art in photographic and electronic media. I ended up moving back towards my hometown, which is up in Cortland, and I started out as a teacher aide at BOCES, and then I was hired as an art teacher. And at BOCES, the first year I was there, they had a darkroom, and so I was able to keep doing my photography. But like most darkrooms, they got put away, and that's when I picked up a paintbrush. So it's been about 10, 11 years of painting, and at first I just painted what I was inspired by from teaching. If I did a tiger project with the kids, I painted a gigantic tiger. And then I also did like a mommy shark painting based off of the Baby Shark song. And then my husband and I found out that we were pregnant with my first son, and I had to pick a nursery theme, and my first thought was an elephant. It has to be an elephant. And when I was a kid, we would go to Enchanted Water Safari, and there's a circus elephant there named Dondi, and Dondi was such this beautiful, gigantic elephant, and was so gentle with her family, and it just, to me, was an incredible, as a kid, seeing this gigantic elephant that I couldn't touch, and I wanted to hug it so much, and so that was where the elephant came from. So I picked an elephant for Colin's room. And so that painting over there in the corner is the beginning of that thought process of an elephant. I wanted to paint a painting that just showed so much joy and excitement, and this beginning of, I have no idea what's going to happen. And then I had Colin, and anyone who's a parent will know you sort of have to figure out your life. You have to rebalance everything. You have to figure out, how am I going to teach? How am I going to have a job? How am I going to take care of this kid? And also have my own goals and be my own person. And so this body of work is the past 3 years, my journey of trying to figure all that out. Figure out how I wanted to paint, what I wanted to show, how I wanted to show it. A lot of the times too, I felt like I had so much I wanted to say and express. So a lot of the paintings have a textural background to them. And that's all extra details of either thoughts that were going on in my head that I would write out, but I wrote it out in a way that a child would write. The letters were flipped or upside down or backwards, or and then I would spread it out so you couldn't tell what was happening. So that was a lot of sort of the texture backgrounds that you see. And then just through other artist conversations that I've had, trying to refine my techniques and become a better painter. So I was learning how to really work and mix my own colors. And then I found out I was pregnant with our second son. Jack is his name. And so this painting was really inspired by that expression of how trusting it is to have a child be able to take your hand and hold your hand, and that love that they share with you to do that. So that was Jack's painting. But then I also was inspired by how babies see, that they don't see in color at first. And I wanted to challenge myself because obviously I love color so much. And I was like, no color, you cannot paint in color. But my black is completely made with primary colors. So it's a solid, it's not a real black out of a tube, it's primary colors, mixed black, and then all my shades of gray. And then I obviously had to have color. So there's the bubbles. So yeah, this body of work has just been such a beautiful experience for me of learning who I want to become and continue my goals as an artist. I try to paint every single day or try to do some sort of my own personal artwork every day. So that's been my journey. So if anyone has questions, please just let me know. So yeah.
I have one.
Yes.
How many hours typically in a painting of like this size, like say a beach painting?
Honestly, the beach, these, well, yeah, a long time. Sand I found incredibly tricky. Like, The shadows in the sand, I can't tell you how many times I've repainted over the beach scenes because I couldn't get the colors right, or I couldn't show and this was actually a photograph. These scenes in particular are photographs I've taken from the Outer Banks. And then obviously I put my own characters into them. But the beach was closing and there was a police officer there, and I was like, wait, please. And I was like, I forgot my purse, even though that was totally not true. And so I ran onto the beach and then was able to take that photograph. So I was really trying to capture what I had photographed there. But I can't really say how many hours it takes to paint something because I'm interrupted so many times. Yes.
Well, I do have to say that growing up on the Jersey Shore, you did a wonderful job with the sand.
Thank you.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Very nice representation.
So, yeah, it's interesting because I was gonna stick this. So this particular set of 4 is called The Day with the Elephants. So it's sort of symbolic of my own family, and a day, this is me in the morning, sneaking out of the beach house, not waking the baby, not waking the dog. Husband's fine, he'll sleep, but not waking those so I can sneak out to the beach and like capture the sunrise. And so just using the elephants to show my own personal experiences with my family and having that quiet moment to myself in the morning. And then I really decided to focus more on just the elephants. So the painting back here with the flowers, is sort of symbolic of, my family of 3 and then finding out I was pregnant, with another. And then, I focused some more on the elephants, obviously. And then this guy here, we had quite a few challenges this past year. So he was symbolic to me of just like standing strong and like keep going, keep fighting, and don't give up. So yeah.
What was living in Scotland like?
It was incredible. I loved it. I lived in Glasgow, and I went to Glasgow School of Art, and that was really, I think, the beginning of where I separated myself from like doing certain projects that professors would assign you, because we met with our professor once a week and that was it. And I didn't have a computer, I didn't have any technology, so I would go to the library and I'd just take out books, and that's what I would do at night, is just read books about artists. And I feel like that helped push me towards wanting to just be my own independent artist and not keep following along with school, assignments more or less. So, yeah.
What's next?
Honestly, when I was bringing this up the stairs to varnish it, I had a vision of like, I want to do an inverted painting of it. But that being said, I also want to change it up a little bit. So that's what's next. So I have a giant white canvas waiting for me. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Thank you. Any other questions?
I just don't know how your mind works. I wish I had like those kind of visions.
Yeah. I mean, I
It's
definitely,
pretty special.
I had to, with photography, now I'm teaching photography again. After all these years, it's been like, finally. But it's been such a learning curve for me, because photography is such a different medium, but everything I did in photography was hands-on, so, but I loved being able to use color with paint, where photography I worked mostly, I did alternative processes, analog processes, so it was mostly black and white or brown or dirt, I made the pictures out of dirt, but yeah. Thank you all.